Let's talk the dazzling peacock, the prince of Punjab, the fiery phoenix, the pretty predator, Ravi. Here we have the Ravi reborn skin, which is really cool. Several other characters have the skin also, and I think it looks great on Ravi. Besides this, we only have a couple more skins. I have to say that just the default skin, the primary skin of Ravi, with all the beautiful colors of his feathers, is totally great. It's a great default skin, probably the best default skin in the game. I never really feel like changing it because it's already so cool looking. For better or worse, Ravi is very noticeable in the zoo and there's no hiding him. But if I had to pick a favorite, it would be the Shadow Ravi skin. It's stealthy and very ninja-like, and I love the blacked out, in this case purpled out, dark look to the skins, and it's so aptly named as the Shadow Ravi. Super cool. Next, we have the Full House Ravi, which is an interesting skin. It's definitely cool, but not one I like to use often. I don't like the gold costume very much. Shadow Ravi, the skin I don't have unfortunately, is still my favorite look for Ravi. Now let's go over the character basics. Ravi has a pretty cool passive ability called That's a Wrap, which gives Ravi faster weapon cooldowns when his health is high. That's pretty useful, but not only that, when his health is low, Ravi gains a speed boost so he can escape those near-death experiences that are so common in Zooba. The part about the speed boost also sounds useful, but you don't really feel the effects of this during gameplay if I'm being honest. For his active, Ravi can quote-unquote mesmerize his opponents, which is perfect for a peacock's ability, right? Good job on that one, Zooba. But the active ability means that if it reaches you, your aim will go haywire. This is useful now that the developers at Zooba have increased its range and cooldown in the last update, and it works okay for the most part, but for me personally, it's been a hit or miss, pun intended, because there's always a delay between the time that you tap and the time that Ravi's active extends out. It's weird, but it takes a tiny fraction of a second too long in its execution, like the whole animation that Ravi has to go through to like spread it out. That takes a little too long. I'd like another update, Zooba, and I want that mesmerizing effect to be immediate as soon as I tap it. Overall, not the most useful special in my opinion, but it does come handy once in a while for sure. And if you have the Primal Instinct unlocked, you get to have these shield reflectors that protect Ravi while also deflecting attacks toward opponents. This is the same ones that Betsy gets, which is the same ones that Shelly gets. You get the gist. I think this is a good time for me to address the primals for a second here, so I will. Zooba has some work to do on the Primal Instincts because very often, like in the case of Ravi, the Primal Instinct seemed like it was just an afterthought. They gave Ravi pretty much the same special that was in circulation already with multiple other characters that deflecting shield. Not to mention, what sense does it even make for Ravi to have these? Shelly, I get it. He's got a shell and the shields add to that feature. But Ravi the peacock? Why does Ravi have these shields? How is that even remotely a peacock's primal? Like, it's completely unrelated and makes no sense. It would be so much better if it was some kind of flight primal. After all, peacocks do fly on rare occasions, and what is a primal instinct if not an innate ability that comes out and gets utilized in the time of great need? It would be so much cooler if Ravi could get a short flight boost like Henry's ability, but only for a couple of seconds when Ravi's health is really low, so he could escape a dangerous situation. Don't get me wrong, the attack deflection is useful, but it shows total lack of commitment or thought behind things from Zooba, where they just recycle other characters' abilities sometimes. I think they can do better. In terms of the weapons, Ravi's got the classic long-range sniper scout setup. He's got a focus throw spear that does massive damage. It's my favorite of Ravi's weapons, even though I suck at aiming it. A focus shot, bow and arrow, also long range, and a long-range shotgun with a decent spread. It's nice. With all this long-range stuff, I'm reminded of another beautiful bird in the game. Could it be, Milo? Well, make sure you subscribe because when we put out that comparison video, you want to make sure you watch it. Now that we got all the basics, let's talk about how they play out in battles. We'll share the cons first, what's not so good about playing Zooba with Ravi, and then we'll share our pros or what's good about Ravi and the things we love. As we know, no character in Zooba is perfect, so here are the cons. Con number 1 is the spear shot control. I've already mentioned that spear is my favorite weapon for Ravi when playing with him, but that does not negate the fact that the spear is too hard to control. I've learned that I can aim it better if I don't swipe my finger out too much from the button. If you remain within the little circle around the spear icon, your aiming is much more manageable and easier. But in excitement, if you swipe out too far, it'll be easy to aim far, but not in close battles. So for close battles, try to keep your swipe very short, and I find that helps me quite a bit to get the bow under control. Let me know in the comments if it helps you too, or if you have your own tips and tricks to improve aim with Ravi's spear or any other of these spears, because a lot of the characters have these spears and they're always hard to control. Con number 2 is the active is not as useful as it could have been with some tweaks. Right now, when you tap the active, as I mentioned before, a long rectangular path comes out like a carpet rolled out, and if an opponent gets on it or in it, they become mesmerized. This works, but you're going to miss a lot with this, and you end up wasting your special more often than actually using it for some benefit, so I don't like that. Adding to that, as I said before, the delay is too long. The special should roll out instantly when you tap the active, but nope, Ravi has to stand around, position himself, look pretty, and then get the special out. It's slow to initiate and I don't like that. It would be so much better if it worked the same way or similar to Duke's 360 Roar. That would be a way better implementation because you wouldn't have to worry about aiming it at others, and you would probably get far better use out of this active. Right now, like I said before, it's a hit or miss, so that gets minus points for Ravi in my book. Last but not least, con number 3, the terrible close-range combat functionality. First of all, Ravi is way too big compared to other animals in the zoo. Ravi is literally bigger than Pepper the giraffe. How does that make any sense? I mean, it's just a game, I know nothing has to make sense, but the reason why I'm annoyed about this is that this particular feature or attribute makes Ravi such an easy target to hit and difficult to maneuver throughout the map. I don't like that. Wish Ravi was a little smaller and a little faster, more nimble if you will. That, I feel, would improve his chances in the close combat scenarios too, securing Ravi a spot in anyone's top 10 easily. But that's it for the cons. Let's discuss the pros, because we like Ravi and it's really a lot of fun to play with him. Pro number 1, the spear's damage. Holy cow! This spear can kill, there's no denying that. The spear might be hard to aim, but it's not hard to beat. If you get someone with the spear, they're dead or almost dead every time. Everyone on the map knows they better run away before Ravi shoots them with a spear. No one wants a piece of that spear. Pro number 2, the weapon set in general. The overall weapon set is great. For example, Yara has pretty much the same setup, but she doesn't last a long time in a battle. She doesn't have great health, and her shotgun doesn't have sufficient spread. With Ravi, both those things are correct. The shotgun is also great because of both its range and its spread. For long range, you get every possible option with Ravi except the bomb, and really, you don't miss bombs in this setup at all. So Ravi's weapon setup as a whole is pretty much perfection for a distance shooting character. And did I mention health? Ravi's health is not the best, but it's good enough. It's much better than Yara and Nyx, for example, and a little better than Jade. This is why, and here's my final verdict, Ravi can easily be a top 5 character in Zooba. He is great, and if you get a chance to play with him and upgrade him, make sure you do and you won't regret it. His playing dynamics, weapon set, and just the aesthetics make the game a lot of fun. He might, I said might, even be the best bird in the zoo. Let us know what you think about Ravi in the comments below, and until next time, peace.